We often hear that creating a morning routine is crucial, but what about a night routine? As I believe a night routine is more crucial than a morning routine. And I say this because everyone has time at night to scroll on TikTok or scroll on YouTube or binge watch their shows. So instead of wasting time on that and creating a night routine, whether that's reading, journaling, taking a cold shower, whatever, you name it, is a better time to use of your time. Now, of course, I'm not saying take a cold shower, read, or write. You can avoid all that. I'm not saying those are the habits that you should embark on when creating a night routine. But create a night routine to help you for the morning, to help you the next day. You see, personally, what I like to do is before I go to work is I like to set my clothes that I know I'm going to wear, so I don't have to waste time in the morning. Another thing I like to do is I like to meal prep my lunch for that night, so I don't have to do it in the morning. You see, when you start to do things more at night, you have more time in the morning, as you won't be too stressed out, as you won't be rushing. But you can't do that if you don't have a night routine. So create a night routine. Now, this doesn't mean you have to have a night routine that lasts 2 or 3 hours. Make it 1 hour tops. And personally, what I do is all that, and then plus I like to read 20 minutes a day, and also I like to write in my journal 20 minutes a day. And personally, I just like writing and reading, but you don't have to do any of that. If you prefer something else, then do that. But just understand is that we need time to wind down. We need time to clock out. And something I recommend also on top of all this is avoid going on your phone at least an hour before bed. Because if you're on your phone before you go to bed, you'll never fall asleep. And I'm very guilty of this. I used to scroll on TikTok and YouTube shorts for hours before I go to bed. And I realized the fact that not only am I wasting time and how much time flew by, but also it made it really hard for me personally to fall asleep. As I started to realize, like, how am I going to bed at 1 a.m.? But if you don't go on your phone, if you don't go on your any iPad or computer before you go to bed, you start to see that you'll wind down a lot quicker. You start to fall asleep a lot quicker. And honestly, reading 20 minutes before bed will help you by far. Because, I don't know, for me, every time I'm reading a book, I just start to clock out. I sometimes just knock out with the book in my hand. I'm like, oh damn, I fell asleep. And I personally recommend that if you haven't already been doing that. And you could use, if you don't prefer books, I also recommend using Kindles, or I don't know how it is reading on an iPad. I personally never done that. And I never read off a Kindle, but I'm thinking about getting a Kindle because I hate the idea of when I buy a book, I put it on the shelf and then I never touch it again. So I'm trying to become more minimalist and just trying to have everything in one tablet, and that might be a Kindle. But I don't know. Definitely comment below if you recommend a Kindle, because I'm thinking about buying one. But despite all that, it's understanding that when you create a night routine, is the fact that you add more time in the morning. You have more time in the morning. So when you have more time in the morning, you have time to make breakfast. You have time to take a nice longer shower. You have time to sleep in a little bit more. You have time and not rushing. And that's a beautiful thing. I think if it wasn't for a night routine, you wouldn't have all that luxury of time in the morning before going to work or school. Another thing is, personally, I like to do during the night routine is planning and reviewing. Planning what I have to do for the next day, but reviewing what I got done today. As I believe that when you review what you've done today will help you grow in life. Because you see, days go by very quickly. Week goes by quick, months as well. But you won't ever see your progress. You won't ever see your growth factor. Because you're constantly living it. But when you write it down in a journal, when you review what you did every day, you're like, I did all this today, I feel accomplished. You won't notice that unless you write it down. And maybe you can tell yourself, but you'll forget about it. So review what you did today. As you start to see progress. And when you start to see progress, you start feeling good about yourself. You start to keep moving forward. Because we might get in a rut. We might get burnt out and say, man, I feel like exactly the same. I feel like I'm not moving in life. But you are. But you have to review what you're moving in life for. And another thing is, like, when we are reviewing our everyday life, we're also seeing what, like, damn, I feel like we can do so much more. I feel like, alright, if I cut my time off of that, I could add more time in doing this. So understanding this will help you by far. And when you create a night routine, you start to see a dramatic change in the morning. You start to have more time, you won't be as tired, you'll feel less stressful. But this is just my personal experience, truly. I can't speak for everyone because everyone's different, right? Some people are morning people, some people are not morning people, some people are night people, some people aren't night people. So whatever really works for you, that's what you should do, honestly. But just try it for a month, at least 30 days, as in 30 days, that's how you create a habit. And after 30 days, if you don't like it, cut it off. Do what you want to do at night. But at the end of it all, when you create a night routine, you start to see a better result. You start to see, damn, I'm getting more time out the day when I have this. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I want to see you guys tomorrow. So have a good one and peace.